All right. Back at it, people. I am back at it. Back again. I never leave, you know. In reality, I never leave. I never log off. I just take breaks. Yeah, that is essentially what goes on here. Right? Shout out to Nikki Vaughn in the house. Atlas King and Tom up in here. I see you, bougie. Now, I don't like to single out any particular gender. And I don't like to get into gender. Because the only thing that matters to me is that there's a whole bunch of males and female dog nutters. And they can both be equally of a nutter. I've heard several stories from women who tell me about how their boyfriend refuses to back up off the dogs. They sleep in his bed. You know, he's just too addicted to dogs. And this happened more than once. I've heard more than one woman complain about a guy being too obsessed with his dogs for her taste. So it happens on both sides. But here, I want to focus on female owners of large dogs. And you don't have to say large, vicious dogs. Because if it's a large dog, then you're stupid if you acquire one. And especially if you sitting up in the house with it alone. That is a special kind of stupid. Now, this stream was inspired in part by this video.
Keisha Morris was getting her kids ready for school when she heard the commotion from her second floor window on Amity Street.
Usually I hear her with the dogs, like talking to the dog, saying, stop or stop playing. But today was different because she was like, it kept going on for like 10 minutes. And she was like, it went from stop to help me.
Okay. She would hear her neighbor every day talking to the dogs, telling them to stop or to do this or that. But today was different because she was saying, help me, help me. And this is where the stupidity comes in. Help you. So not only are you inside of a home alone with dogs, you don't even have a weapon. Okay.
To call the cops.
Maury says she called police like her neighbor asked. She could see the woman frantically trying to fight back against her own pit bulls.
This woman up inside of her own home being watched by her neighbors as she fights dogs that she bought and that she brought into her home. Does that feel like a smart idea now? I would have loved to ask her during the attack. Does this feel like a good idea now? Oh, I'd love to ask one of these dog attack victims that question if they're the owner of these things and they made decision to bring them inside the home. I'm telling you, when it comes to dog lovers, this is easily the most brainless demographic. Small women with large dogs. It's like, what are you thinking? Not only do you have large dogs, one or more dogs, you up inside that home with no gun? Okay. See, this is how you see women crawling out of their apartments with pit bulls latched to their arm. It's like that video that went viral a little while ago. This woman crawling out of her apartment on her back with a pit bull latched to her arm because she was sitting up in an apartment alone with a pit bull.
The woman's 2 adult daughters were also no match for the dogs.
So this woman had 2 daughters, and you heard the journalist say that the daughters were no match for these dogs.
Also, no match for the dogs.
It was 2 dogs fighting, and she had the bat hitting the dog trying to separate them.
She was hitting these dogs with a bat, and that didn't work.
The dog turned around and bit her.
Emergency crews and investigators shut down the block for hours Tuesday. A spokesperson for the city of Elizabeth
Shut the block down for hours, all because some idiot decided to bring a predator inside of her home. Done shut down the whole neighborhood. It's unacceptable, man. We gotta call this out.
confirming to Pix 11 that there were pit bulls fighting in the yard. A person who was passing by with their dog got involved in the fight. The owners of the pits tried to separate them but got injured in the process. Officers shot and killed 2 dogs. 3 others are at an animal control shelter.
Oh my goodness. These things are always getting shot by cops. Really, man's best friend? This is a pandemic.
3 adult women had injuries on their hands. The dog bites and gunshots have left neighbors uneasy. Some recalled seeing the women with the pets, and everything looked fine.
Oh, I'm sure it did. They recall seeing the woman with the pets, with the dogs, with the predators, the beasts, the mutants. I'm sure everything did look hunky-dory. That's how it always looks before the attack. Don't be fooled by the happy moments. It could change in a split second.
They had never seen the pit bulls get aggressive.
They've never seen the pit bulls get aggressive. Now, I guarantee you that would have been the dog owner's proof or evidence that they were safe. The fact that they've never shown aggression before. And they would have been wrong.
Until now.
You have an animal, you have to take care of it.
You have an animal, you got to take care of it. No. If you have a dog, you're stupid. And you shouldn't be allowed to own one.
There's too many dogs in there. If you shouldn't be a dog owner at all. If you don't have to. First of all, just putting your son at risk or yourself at risk for 6 other dogs, you gotta be complete stupid.
Now, this is the only witness or neighbor that I've heard with good sense. Okay, this is the only one I've heard. And, it's been a while since I heard anyone make a statement like this. I've listened to a lot of, or gone over a lot of dog attack reports. It is very rare to hear somebody speak common sense as basic as this. And that's actually sad.
If you shouldn't be a dog owner at all. If you don't have to. First of all, just putting your son at risk or yourself at risk for.
Putting your son and yourself at risk. It's like that's the ultimate level of stupidity. And I'm telling you, it burns me up every time I see these silly women with these massive dogs and they're up inside their home, inside their apartment, alone with these things. I just saw a woman with a giant dog inside of her car. They're just asking to be mutilated. And keep in mind, we've heard stories of these small women going out, taking their dogs for a walk, and their dogs killing them.
6 other dogs, you gotta be complete stupid. Because they're not gonna choose you.
Said they're not going to choose you. The dogs are not going to choose you. And they're not. These are heartless, soulless beasts. They don't care about you. I don't care how long you own a dog. It does not care about you. It doesn't care, period. These are not human beings. Y'all just gonna have to deal with that.
They're dominant.
We spoke to a man who did not want to go on camera, but identified as the husband of the primary victim and father of the other two women. He says he spoke to them on the phone and was heading to the hospital to be at their side. Both he and the neighbors wishing them all a speedy recovery.
I take care of them. They walk them sometimes. It's like we're humans. Things happen. We don't always know what's going to happen in a dog's mind.
We never know what's going on in a dog's mind. You mean, no. We don't always know what's going on. We never know. And that's the problem. That's part of the problem. One is that we never know what's going on in their stupid, goofy, mutated brain. Two, even if you were aware, most of you couldn't stop an attack anyways, no matter if it was launched on someone else or yourself. Just like this woman could not stop the attack. I could have told you that. All the fully grown men who've been attacked and killed here recently, and this year alone. My goodness. This story surfaced 3 days ago. Right? Shout out to Annabelle and Higher Ground. I see some Crusaders up in here. I'm sorry, I have to focus on this. I'm seeing too many women, tiny little petite, weak women with large, powerful dogs. Y'all need to wake up. Stop living in fantasy land where you really believe that the thing will never attack you. Oh, I feed it. Oh, because I feed it, it'll never attack me. Y'all better get over that. You got to be smarter than that. It shouldn't get to the point where you actually have one. Smallest amount of research should wake you up. Okay? There's no excuse for this level of stupidity. Now, I just watched this other one.
She was convinced.
On Pitbull. I think it was this one. Did y'all see that? Here it is right here. Well, this woman got destroyed. She got destroyed. Now, she was jogging. Another victim where I say you should not have been jogging unarmed, especially if you're out in the sticks, you're out there in the country, away from the city. No, it's not that kind of world.
Dominique Alain is trying to rebuild her life in a body that will never be the same. Her tricep muscle.
Man, look at that. Her tricep is gone. Thing ripped off her entire tricep.
Tricep muscle is gone. Her legs scarred and still bandaged. Alain was out for a run near her home in Quebec's eastern townships in March when she encountered 3 aggressive dogs.
They came right at me, and then they start barking, and then they start attacking me.
Wait, whoa, what? Really? This is for the behaviorists. Hey, behaviorists. Hey, veterinarians, dog trainer. You hear what she just said? She said the same thing that all other attack victims say. That the attack was completely unprovoked. As always, this is why I say adult dog attack victims should be the first people who object, who speak out against these trainers and whatnot, who claim that all dog attacks are provoked. People like her should be on the front line calling that a lie.
Attacking me. And then I said, what's going on? Stop.
She tried to fight back, but the dogs were strong.
They worked together.
What? They were strong. Why were they attacking her is the question. See, we have to think about that. We have to ask that question, and we have to give that major thought. Why were they attacking her? This was a prolonged attack. Don't you think that's important? Okay, we need to know why this attack happened. It happened for absolutely no reason at all. And that's exactly what dog lovers don't want to pay attention to. The fact that these things attack for no reason at all. And it's not based on fear. That's the infuriating part. These people up here trying to convince us that these are fear-based attacks. These dogs were actually scared of this woman. Get out of here.
And then tear my clothes, and then started just going into my arms and ripping the skin and just I couldn't do anything.
She was out there unarmed. So, was she indoctrinated by this dog culture as well?
I thought I was going to die.
Finally, she says.
You see that? That's her dog. So this is a dog lover who was attacked. This lady is a dog lover. And that explains why she was unarmed. Yeah. Dog lovers never anticipate a dog attack.
Finally, she says she heard a whistle, and one by one the dogs ran back to their house. She's had 12 surgeries along with physical and psychological therapy. It's an experience Alain doesn't want anyone else to go through.
Yeah, it's just horrible. It's should never happen. Should not happen. Has to stop.
Following.
Yeah. How's it gonna stop? How's it gonna stop? The only way for it to stop is to get rid of these things. Let's just deal with it.
Following the attack, the dogs were seized and put down. Police investigated.
Okay, why not grab a sledgehammer and bash its worthless brains out? Why not grab a shotgun and blow its worthless brains out? Okay, why not throw these things into a giant pit of fire? Stop with this, man. Stop wasting our resources on these things. They're basically financing the existence of these things with our money.
And handed them.
Stop with this, man. Just exterminate them already. It's ridiculous.
Their findings to provincial prosecutors. So far, no criminal charges have been laid against the dog's owner. The Quebec government.
Of course, no criminal charges have been laid. But there should have been.
The government recently tabled new rules for dangerous dogs, but Alain says they don't go far enough. She wants some.
This is why I don't understand. These dog lovers, if they find a dog and it's injured, and this happens every time they find a dog with injuries, they assume that a human being did it to that dog, injured that dog. They always assume that a person did it, not another animal. You know, not that it was hit by a car. Well, no, a human did this to this dog. That's the first thing. The second thing, they assume that a human attacked the dog for no reason, just for kicks, just to see the dog in pain. And they get angry, don't they? These dog lovers. When a dog is found injured and look like it's been beaten, these nutters get infuriated. Well, I get infuriated too with cases like this, where people are attacked and nothing happens to these worthless vermin. That's infuriating. right? And it makes me want to see these things exterminated even more. That's just what it is.
So far, no criminal charges have been laid against the dog's owner. The Quebec government recently tabled new rules for dangerous dogs, but Alain says they don't go far enough. She wants some dog owners to take mandatory training courses and have
mandatory training courses. No, that's not a solution either.
Insurance to cover the costs if their dog...
Oh, mandatory training class. And what else?
Courses and have insurance to cover the costs if they...
Oh, just make them take a class and get extra insurance. That don't keep people safe. That's not a solution. And that sounds like a proposal from a fellow dog lover.
Their dog causes serious, life-changing injuries like hers.
Physically, what I will have to go through for the rest of my life, the change in me.
She hopes to one day somehow return to the active life she lived before, but she knows there is still a long road ahead. Allison North.
Wow. And she's still a slave to a dog. Still a slave to a dog. And that's what these nutters are. You picking up the thing's excrement. You're a slave to this thing. So disgusting.
Caught CBC News, Montreal.
Quebec chain.
You know what? I don't feel sorry for that lady. I don't feel sorry for her not one bit. Because she's participating in creating communities that make what happened to her possible. So you don't get no sympathy from me. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not going to get a pass from me.
She was going to die. A spring mother's recovering after a terrifying dog attack in her own driveway. Our Pooja Lodi is live with how she's doing. And Pooja, we also were wondering what happened to the dog.
Well, that dog has now been put down, but this mother has a long recovery ahead of her.
Nobody was going to help me, you know. I was going to be dead.
Irene Cornish didn't think she'd be here today.
It was like a horror scene from the worst Halloween movie.
This is what Irene looked like the morning of March 11th. And this is what she looked like hours later. She says she was attacked by her neighbor's dog named Ghost.
Attacked by her neighbor's dog. Okay? This is why I have a problem with these people. This could have been one of us.
Just after getting out of her car in her driveway.
All she did was get out of her car in her own driveway. Dog nutters make doing that dangerous. Dog lovers, and only dog lovers, make it dangerous for you to walk from your vehicle to your front door. Why isn't there more people outraged about the presence of dogs? It's beyond me. Beyond me, man. That's another reason why I will not move into a home until it's fenced off from everyone else first.
On Raystone Street in Spring.
I said, God, please just get him off of me. I said, Ghost, like Ghost. And I think that maybe he heard me, you know. That was the only thing that saved me, that I did knew his name.
Irene says Ghost had attacked her pit bull last year. Since then, her son, who broke his finger during that dog fight, has been carrying a longboard around the neighborhood.
Given time and over my mom's worry and the dog attacking another dog across the street, we could just tell it was vicious and it was bound to happen to somebody.
Thankfully,
Man, check out this dog worship right here. Check out this dog worship right here.
Somebody.
Thankfully, Irene has friends and family to help, and a whole class.
So, the woman who was just attacked by dogs, they said that she has friends and family to help. And then they show these women with a giant pit bull. So this woman's friends are a bunch of nutters. And their bright idea, in response to her being attacked, was to bring their pit bull over and make the pit bull the highlight of their visit. So these dog nutters, these pit nutters right here, this is their response to this woman being attacked. Here, let me bring my dog. Here, look at my, just like the nutters do on the internet. As soon as they see a story where somebody was attacked or somebody's child was attacked by a pit bull, first thing they do is post photos of their pit bull. Just goofy brain dead nutters, man. Wow. I mean, why did y'all show us this? Well, thanks for showing us another dumb nutter. Because these two right here, just as vulnerable, just as helpless against an attack from one of these creatures. Wow, what a way to disgrace your visit.
Irene has friends and family to help. And
what is with this? What is with this obsession with these things? Why do y'all treat these things like they're so special when they clearly are not? What is wrong with you? Yeah, I just don't get it. They're still ready to praise, honor, and worship pit bulls immediately after their friend was attacked. Okay.
Irene has friends and family to help, and a whole class of smiling students for support. It'll likely be weeks before she's able to return to her job as a pre-K teacher at Kids Are Kids Academy. As for Irene's neighbor, he told me he's sorry about the attack and is willing to pay medical bills. He says he rescued the dog from a cruel living situation.
He rescued the dog from a cruel living situation. Now, I suppose he shared that information to explain why it attacked her. You know, he's like, oh, look, well, it's had a rough history. That's why it attacked. That's basically what he was trying to convey. And that's exactly why they should be illegal to own. Yeah? Thank you for sharing that.
I thank my lucky stars and my God that I heard.
Lord, Lord, Lord. I've seen far too many small women like this. And it really doesn't matter if it's a big woman or a small woman. But it's worse with smaller women. Trust me, I know there's a big difference. I've seen large women have physical fights with smaller women. You know, when women get so big, they become more equipped and more able to defend themselves. But these small women who go out and acquire massive dogs, bully breeds at that, these are easily the dumbest dog lover demographic out there. Easily the dumbest. I mean, it's one thing to go acquire them, or one, and bring it inside of your home. It's another thing for you to be completely unarmed inside of your home. It's like, what's going on in your head? Isn't that overboard? Isn't that going overboard? Trusting a dog? And the crazy part is, you get stories like this that surface all the time. Stories that serve as a reminder of why they should not acquire these things. They get the signals, they get the red flags constantly. This is really on a daily basis. But because they don't do their homework, they don't do their due diligence, they opt to stay ignorant, which is, I have no idea how that even happens. You notice how a lot of these nutters, they know a lot about dogs in general, but they don't know nothing about dog attacks. You ever notice that? Or they can lecture you on dog this, dog that, day in and day out. But then they're oblivious to dog attacks, have no idea how often they happen. They're not familiar with the statistics that we're familiar with. That is a major, major problem. What are we going to do with these people? I hate that I have to share society with these types of lunatics, man. It really does irk me every day of my life. It just makes me sick. You know? And I wish it was not like this. I wish I lived in a world where I could get to know my neighbors. Maybe visit them. Maybe have them visit me. Yeah. I remember back in the day when you could, borrow a cup of sugar from a neighbor. Go next door, grab me a cup of milk. Those days are over. That's something you just don't do today. You just don't do stuff like that right now. Man, oh man. Now what is this? It's another story. Yeah, I think we watched that. All kinds of stupid people. All kinds of stupid. Now what is this? Let me check this out, if y'all don't mind. Bear with me here. I'm not exactly caught up on pit bull victim awareness here.
Out of Virginia Beach is making national headlines, but for all the wrong reasons. Kristen Foster is facing public intoxication charges after a pit bull she was taking care of attacked and killed another dog. And your side's Brett Hall is joining us live from the oceanfront where this all happened. Brett?
Well, it's a place where even having a dog right on the other side of the Neptune statue this time of year would land you possibly with a fine. And tonight I spoke with two dog owners who really enjoy taking their dogs to the beach all season long, and they hope this incident doesn't ruin it for responsible dog owners. Dog owners...
None of you are responsible. You know how irresponsible this is right now? You got two pit bulls right here. Yeah, we got to clear that up before we go any further. There's no such thing as a responsible dog owner. You've done a disservice to the community if you own one of these things.
Joe Wright and Karen Novick say the whole situation is awful.
Yeah, I mean, it was...
Ugh. Burn them. Shoot them. Euthanize them. Get rid of them. Can we please rid our beautiful planet of these disgusting, worthless, good-for-nothing rodents? I'm so sick of these things and the status that people all over the world have given them, where these are a protected group of creatures, a protected group of terrorists. That's all dogs are. Their job is to terrorize all other living things. So why on earth have we created laws to protect these things?
Very tragic incident.
Anytime an animal is hurt or killed, it's just heartbreaking.
No, it's not heartbreaking when I hear about a dog being hurt or killed. It's not heartbreaking. No, it's not. And I want y'all to know that there are people like this, like me, out here. You don't care what happens to a dog. I personally really don't care. I'm never, ever under no, I don't care what happens to a mutt. I don't care if I hear that it got run over. I don't care if I hear it got boiled alive. I don't care what happens to him. This needs to be put out there. Don't care about dogs. You shouldn't either.
Last night, shortly after 7:30, on the beach.
Yeah, that's right. You shouldn't either. Y'all's goofy love and obsession with these things is what causes so many problems. That's the reason why they're in our communities, terrorizing our communities.
31st Street, Virginia Beach Animal Control says an unleashed pit bull attacked and killed a small Shih Tzu mix while the Shih Tzu was on the leash for a walk. Witnesses say the whole incident was as gruesome as it sounds. An incident, Wright says, could have been easily prevented.
Both dogs were not supposed to be there at that point in time.
From the beginning of Memorial Day weekend.
Shut up. It could have been avoided by banning them. That's the solution.
The end of Labor Day weekend, dogs are only allowed in the resort area on a leash.
Look at how problematic these things are. All the laws required to regulate them. These things always wreaking havoc on communities. I don't understand how they've gotten away with projecting these things as beneficial to society for so long. It's just crazy. It's so bad people don't even want to step outside of their homes. We still exalt these things.
On the boardwalk between 6 and 10 in the morning.
It is a little bit frustrating that on our first weekend of rules being in place, we had a tragic incident.
Both Joe and Kara say the problem is clearly in enforcement. Animal Control says they indeed only have 5 officers who work the entire city at one time, and it can be hard to catch every violation.
Ugh. I don't understand what people get out of taking care of such a leeching, overly dependent leech. Dogs are nothing but beggars. Just beg, take, thieves. All they do is take, and they don't deserve nothing. Only thing they deserve is to be euthanized. That's the only thing that they truly deserve, is to be taken out, wiped clean off this earth. I don't understand why people are so obsessed with giving them things. That's food, water, shelter. How on earth do you get pleasure out of doing that?
We, as responsible dog owners, are trying to spread the word.
In this case, Animal Control says they don't plan to issue a fine to the owners of the Shih Tzu. An officer tells us they feel they've already suffered enough consequences. However, more charges could still come to
people. I don't know. These nutters, they got serious problems. They got serious problems, people. I was just watching this. Let me see if I can find this. There was another attack video that surfaced here recently. And of course, I can't find it now. Yes. And it was a pit bull. It was a pit bull. And I'm telling you, this woman was completely out of her mind. I mean, she was gone. There was no helping her. There's no saving her. Okay, I can't find it. Man, I'm upset about that. Let me try one more thing. And to find this. Yes, the craziest thing. I don't know, where did I find that at? You know, and it really shows. I make a lot of bold statements. I make a lot of bold statements. So whenever I see something that confirms what I've said, if it's a bold statement, I make a point to substantiate it,
a neighborhood,
to try to support it every chance I get. And this was another opportunity. Now, I think y'all can see this. Yeah, you can see this. Now, this is uploaded on Pitbull Victim Awareness YouTube channel 2 days ago. I think this is the one.
In Highland Park on edge tonight after a man is bitten by a dog. As the dogs roamed, police in the area even told our crews to stay inside the news van over fears they could attack again.
Okay. They shut down the street. You got cops telling people stay inside of your vehicle. So these things literally are terrorizing the community. Man's best friend, you know, pump the brakes with all the praise y'all heap onto these things when they regularly do stuff like this. Have a whole neighborhood on terrorist watch. Here, cops and told people don't even come outside.
They even tried tossing cold cuts to the dogs to get them under control. Well, it's all happening.
Why not just shoot them? Goofballs. That nuttery. That's why they didn't shoot them. They're right there. So these people, they went out here and just looked at the dogs for I don't know how long. Could have easily shot them. They're worthless. Why didn't you shoot them? Stop treating these things like they're valuable, like their life is valuable. That really makes me sick too. How they treat dogs as if dogs' lives are valuable. They're not. Lord.
Well, it's all happening on Pasadena near the Lodge and Davison. Let's get out to Sean Lay. He is live at Henry Ford Hospital where that biting victim was taken. Sean, how's he doing?
Taken here a short time ago, Steve. Here's the deal. Highland Park's police chief saying that he was alert, but was indeed attacked by these two dogs the police tonight are calling vicious. Absolutely wild. Only local 4 cameras are there.
Yeah. So they're showing the dogs in all their glory, in all their fits of rage. Why? Why are they in a fit of rage? These mutants always getting infuriated for no reason. Just at the sight of people. And that's why they all deserve to die. For this behavior right here, just kill them all. Kill them all. Kill them all. They're not God's creatures. God hates them. God don't want them on this earth. God hates dogs and wants to kill them. Do us all a favor. You want to use our tax dollars? You want to use our money for dogs, for something that we did not ask our money to go towards? Use our money to get rid of these things. Lord, this community is on lockdown. Shut down the whole neighborhood because of dogs. And they still showed up with this pro-dog, don't hurt the dog mentality. That's why they didn't shoot it. They should have shot both of these mutts. Cops pull up and start staring at them. Get out of here.
Absolutely wild. Only local 4 cameras are there as police in Highland Park work to get 2 dogs they are calling vicious.
Look, man, those cops had a clear shot on these things. Why didn't y'all shoot them? Stupid. That is stupid. The reason they didn't shoot them is because they were viewing the dogs' lives as valuable. And that was your mistake. Just shoot them. right? On a scale from 1 to 10, a dog's life has 0 value. You understand? 0 value. Dogs, squirrels, rabbits, bees, even a fly, their life is valuable. A dog's life is not valuable. And this went on for I don't know how long, all because they were giving value to the life of these mutants when they should have just blew them away as soon as they had a clear shot.
They are calling vicious under control. Police even telling our photographer to stay in the news van as the dogs ran wild across Pasadena between Woodward and Hamilton. Dogs that are...
Man. Now, again, I like to use myself as an example. Can you imagine if it were me and maybe another guy my same size running around stabbing people, running around with knives in our hands, stabbing people? You think the cops would have been this lenient? You don't think the cops would have showed up and tasered me, shot me? And they showed up and stood around and looked at these dogs for I don't know how long.
Well known as a danger in this area.
They have been a problem. We have been scared to walk down the sidewalk.
We're told.
See? It won't be me. It won't be me. These nutters, you'll wake up and your dog won't be there. Terrorizing the whole community. Oh, people got to stop accepting that. That's unacceptable.
Wow. We're told the dogs have attacked before. This time, it was a man in his 30s who was bitten.
They've attacked before. That's all they're known for, is attacking people. And then they want to sit up and tell us that that's our responsibility to feed them. If we see stray dogs, to feed them, it's our job. Man, this is too much. This is too much. How much of a menace do they have to be before they are described and viewed and treated like a menace? You know you're making a mistake when something is this menacing to society and you still trying your best to call a man's best friend and treat him like man's best friend. That's where the problem's coming from.
Bitten. Follow along as police first drove the neighborhood looking for the dogs. Then used sirens to get their attention.
They out here blowing the horn, using sirens. This could have been over real fast. Roll up, shoot them, and you're done.
These vehicles used to box the dogs in. A fence at the home had to be fixed to keep them in. Then officers brought in baloney to lure the dogs closer.
What a bunch of goofballs. What a bunch of idiots. Just kill them. They're worthless. Their life is in fact, their life is a detriment. The fact that they're alive, that means that our life is threatened. These goofballs show up with baloney. Wow.
Closer to them. Next up, this guy, a dog whisperer of sorts, offering sausages.
These things have already attacked people. And these people still trying to deal with these dogs with kid gloves. Oh, don't want to hurt them now. Don't want to hurt them. Definitely don't want to shoot them. Oh, that's a sin. These are dogs. Right? Angels on earth. See, they will show up to a scene like this with that mentality that dogs are angels on earth. Several of these cops out here right now, during this time, had this mentality that they're dealing with angels on earth, that you can't harm, you can't hurt them, even though they've already hurt people.
Sorts, offering sausages. That's when the owner rushed through this scene, the dogs following her into her house. She surrendered.
Now, this is the owner. Now listen to what this idiotic, brain dead, low IQ nutter has to say. This is the owner of these dogs terrorizing the community.
She surrendered both of them.
But they don't bite.
Yeah.
She sat up here and said they don't bite. Exactly what I told you goes on in their brain. In the mind of these pit nutters, they think just because it don't bite them, that they won't bite anyone else. And you have to be just flat out dumb and have to have a very low IQ to think that. You really have to be an imbecile.
Surrendered both of them.
But they don't bite.
Yeah, they claiming one of the dogs bit them, but it wasn't.
Yeah, and I believe it. Do you hear how dumb these people are? She said somebody claimed that the dog bit him, but it's never bit me, so I don't believe it bit him. The dog will attack other people, nutters. I can't believe y'all need somebody to tell you this. That is shocking to me. This is not common knowledge amongst dog owners. That's scary. These idiots truly do feel, they truly do believe that because the dog doesn't attack them, that it won't attack anyone. That's dangerous.
She surrendered both of them.
But they don't bite.
Yeah, they claiming one of the dogs bit them, but it wasn't a child that was bit. It was a teenager dog.
Who cares? Talking about it wasn't a child that was bit, it was a teenager. Your point? Is that supposed to make it somehow acceptable? What did you point that out for? These pit nutters, they can't be smart. They can't be smart. That's why, I just sit back and listen, because I know they're going to say something dumb and crazy every time they talk.
She surrendered both of them.
But they don't bite.
Yeah, they claiming one of the dogs bit them,
They don't bite you because you feed them. Lord. Yeah, you have to tell them this.
But
y'all remember growing up, I used to watch this comedy show by Bill Cosby. I think it was called Bill Cosby Himself. And he used to talk about how silly his kids were. And that when he would tell them to take a bath, he'd actually have to instruct them to turn on the water. Because if not, they just wander around the tub, get out, and then go to bed. Well, he wasn't exaggerating. That level of stupidity is real. And apparently some people get stuck mentally in their childhood. Okay? Their elevator does not reach the top. That is these pit nutters.
Both of them.
But they don't bite.
Yeah, they claiming one of the dogs bit them, but it wasn't a child that was bit. It was a teenager dog.
A teenager.
However old he was.
Yeah. Your point. She talking like that's supposed to soften the blow. Like that's supposed to make it more acceptable. Oh, it was a teenager.
However old he was. He wasn't a child.
It's very...
Wow. That was her defense. They don't bite, and that wasn't a child that the dog bit. It was a teenager. Oh my goodness.
Very sad, but dog owners need to be responsible.
Look at it. Just again, look, she looks dirty. That house looked dirty. That porch looked dirty. Why? Why do all these people have to be dirty and dumb? Is that a prerequisite? Dirty and dumb. Unbelievable.
Back here live. Let's get to that dog owner tonight. Highland Park's police chief tells me she's been hit with 3 citations, including having vicious animals and letting them run wild. What happened?
See? They gave her a citation for attempted murder. Every single time she allowed her pit bulls to roam the neighborhood, that's attempted murder. People's lives are in danger, and you give them a fine? That's why we can't depend on the law. You got to protect yourself. And there needs to be people, neighbors, who neutralize threats like this. No need to call the cops. No need to call the dog warden. We have enough laws on the books right now to protect ourselves from this threat. Because obviously the cops are not going to do it. You know animal control is not going to do it. She said the dogs don't bite. Help us. Well, we need some help. So I wanted to emphasize this ridiculous, and it makes me upset every single time I see it. When I see these little bitty women with huge dogs, I get infuriated every single time. Every single time. It's like you're flaunting your recklessness at that point. And what good are our laws if they don't protect us from lunatics like this? People this reckless and dangerous. Y'all be safe out there. What is today? Tuesday? Shout out to everybody able to join me on this live stream. Y'all be safe and always look out for your neighbors. Something that dog lovers don't do. Let's lead by example. Shout out to everybody able to join me, and I hope to see you on the next as we continue with this crusade.